Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. In case you're new here, my name's Abram. That's Delta. We are homesteading on our land here in the Ozarks. Got beautiful Urushiol Lake. Well, it's kind of brown right now. Behind me over here. So I'm going to build my house over here, and you can tell I've got a bunch of grass growing. So that's cool. The thing I wanted to talk to you about today is poison ivy and poison oak, sumac. I guess it's all about the same. My last video I went digging crystals and I got a mess of poison oak, I'm assuming. I get this frequently, and I just wanted to tell you guys how I've been taking care of it. And I've got a farmer's almanac recipe to kill this stuff in one day, so we're gonna try it out and see if it works. If you were just looking for the part on how to treat the poison ivy, skip towards the middle of the video. Can you spot poison ivy? So I've never really been good at identifying it. I know about the whole 3 leaves thing, but I'm climbing down here like a mountain goat. I'm clearing forest out and everything, and somehow I just end up with it. So I decided it was time for me to get smart and figure out what the stuff looks like. So here's some. And I was actually surprised I didn't have more. As I was going around trying to spot a couple of good plants that I could do a video with, I was having a hard time. I still am, look at me. 3 leaves. 3 leaves. Ah, here it is. 3 leaves together. You can see. So I guess that's kind of the nursery rhyme with this stuff. 3 leaves together. So what's the deal with poison ivy anyway? So the main issue is an oil, and it's called Urushiol or something. It's from the Japanese word lacquer. So the thing that you have to worry about with poison oak, poison ivy, or sumac is the oil that comes from the leaf, and then it transfers to your skin. My understanding is it takes about 2 hours or so to activate and to start causing a rash. So within a 2-hour period of time, you can still get it off. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a little bit. So right now, you may wonder what I'm doing. I've got a fire going. I need to, for this recipe, I need to bring a gallon of vinegar. I'm just going to pour some in a pan and dissolve the salt. I need 1 cup of salt, 1 gallon of vinegar, and 8 drops of dish soap after it's all boiled up. And then I put it into my sprayer there, and you know how it is, if you have a fire going, it's always going to blow to you. So you put all that stuff together, and Farmer's Almanac swears by it. So we're going to try it out. I'm going to spray this stuff on, and it's supposed to kill the plant all the way through the root within a day or 2. So I like the idea of not using chemicals, and I like the idea of using natural things, and this was really inexpensive. I'll still have salt left after this, so I've got less than $3 for a gallon worth of this stuff. I'm also going to spray it on some of these shoots that have grown up as I've cleared everything out, and I'll give you feedback on that. My understanding is that this will kill grass, but not through the root. So I guess people use vinegar to thin out grass from time to time. So like I showed you, like I've shown you through everything that I do on this channel, this isn't pretty much a how-to channel. This is me figuring it out as I go, and then I'm just trying to bring you guys along. Since I get poison ivy or poison oak, I'm gonna say 8 or 10 times a year, because I'm in these woods all the time. I figured I better get smart on it and change some of my habits, so I can hopefully not get it as often. So I'm gonna let this fire burn down a little bit, and then hopefully we'll get some dissolved salt and vinegar here in a minute. All you care about is a stick. So one of the funny things about this oil that comes from poison ivy or poison oak is that it can live in a dead plant for 2 to 5 years after it's been killed. It also is said to stay on clothing or tools for 1 to 3 weeks after you have contact with it. And you know, sometimes we just think about what contact we have, but you know, when you have one of these knuckleheads running through the woods all the time, picking stuff up, I imagine that she's giving it to me sometimes too. See, you give me poison ivy sometimes. Anyway, what else we got? So apparently if you burn it, the oil can transfer through the air, so you can get it that way. This stuff is so potent. It says that 1 nanogram is all the contact with the oil that you have to have in order to get a rash. And they said on the internet that 1/4 ounce of Urushiol or whatever could give the entire planet, everybody on the planet, poison ivy. Isn't that crazy? Okay, so most of the salt's dissolved. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it into my sprayer. I wouldn't recommend doing this in a cast iron. I just had this old. Obviously I didn't do the greatest job in the world, but it's taking a long time. Maybe I should be more patient, like a kid, I guess. So that doesn't go well in the lungs. When I added some more into the pan, it dissolved immediately. So I'm gonna finish mixing this. Has that color. So I had some diesel in here for this. So take it over and spray it on it and see what happens. I'm gonna spray this on, see what happens. I'm also gonna spray this around these other offshoots that come up, and if it works on them, I'll be amazed. So I'm gonna let this dry and come back tomorrow and we'll see how it goes. Quite a reaction. The ends of the leaves are burnt. Looks like it's dying up. That's only been about 2 hours. I've been out here spraying things, goofing off, so I guess I'm just gonna have to check on it tomorrow and see what it looks like. It's no wonder that I get poison ivy so much with all these woods, 80 acres of them. And Delta and I are no stranger to accidents. If you haven't seen the video where she was impaled in her chest and got 3 dozen stitches, you ought to check that one out. She's resilient. Okay, so you're back at home and you recognize that you have some exposure to some poison ivy. They say dish soap is the best, so I just put it on all over, especially in between my fingers and on tops, because it always seems to get there. I don't know why. Just remember that you're washing off oil. So just like if you get some oil on you when you're changing the oil in the car or something, think about how hard it is to get that off. It sticks. So what I've learned is that the friction of the washcloth has a lot to do with getting it off. You just got to kind of think about getting every piece of your skin, especially in between your fingernails. I always seem to get it on that joint or that joint, so I make sure to get real good with the idea that I'm wiping off. And I just use another piece of the washcloth. These are what I've found to be the most important things to use. Just alcohol to start, until you finally get everything dried out. If you're itching, you can put on the apple cider vinegar, and then that will also soothe, but it's also an antiseptic, so it'll sting a little bit. So I leave that stuff on, and I may alternate, but I'll go through these cotton balls like crazy when I have poison oak. And then I'll wait till everything's completely dry, and then I'd use my calamine lotion, whether it's this or the pink stuff. So what I'm looking for as far as indication that it's drying out, see like the little bumps that, you know, are basically showing blood. Like this is the nastiest rash. Like it's you know, I mean, I would say average. It looks really bad because I've been trying to dry it out for so long. I think I'm in the 5th day of having this. I don't itch anymore. The rest of my skin's dry because I'm drying out my whole arm when I'm running this stuff through, and I'm not putting any lotion, so that's kind of irritating. But otherwise this is dry. It may look yucky, but I'm about 2 days away from it flaking and going away. So in my latest experiment of stuff is working pretty well compared to other things that I've used. I'm sure everybody knows how to use cotton balls, but just wanted to show people what I do. I just go all the way down my arm, and I think this takes off residual oil as well if you had some on. And again, I go all the way down my fingers, and I go all the way in the middle of my fingers, because I end up getting a bump or two there, and it's just the oil. So that one arm is done. If I were to be real itchy or something, again, I'd put this on, and I may here in a little bit. Sometimes it's taken me up to 4 weeks to heal, and my average is about 2 weeks, and at the current rate, in about a week and a half, I'll be clear of this. So I'm going to say that this is the best stuff so far. So once it's completely dried out, then I'd go ahead and add the calamine lotion, and it's a lotion, but it also will dry. So that's pretty good. There's some misconceptions about poison ivy, poison oak, poison sumac, that you will spread it by itching. If you have all the oil off of your skin, you can't spread it by breaking those nasty little pus bubbles or whatever it is, and you can't spread it by itching. Again, it's the oil. If you can't spread it to other people, unless you still have oil on you, so you can see how important it is to get the oil off of you. Some of the things that I've done to decrease my exposure to it are, or will be, to wear long sleeves and long pants all summer long. A rookie mistake that I made when I was just walking around in one of my clearings once is I went down there with flip-flops and shorts. Yeah, that was a rookie mistake. So I'm going to try to stay covered up at all possible. If I'm working on my house, not in the woods or anything, I may wear short sleeves, but I just have to be real careful. And I think I'm going to set up a wash station, so with a jug of water, whenever I get done working, I'm going to just make a real habit of washing and wringing myself off with that washcloth. So anyway, that's something that I'm going to do moving forward. I hope this video helps you out, and if it did, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I'm excited because I just got notified that my parts are in at the plumbing supply place, so hopefully I'll be building a ram pump tomorrow.